Look now. Look now. Look what's happening. Your lawyer had to argue for you. And some of your girlfriends caught a conspiracy case. They didn't have nothing to do with the game. They didn't weigh out the weight. They didn't step on it. They didn't know nothing about how to cut it right, how to bag it up, whether the yellow tape went on this bag or the red tape went on that. They ain't know nothing about whether this was killer or the bomb. They ain't know nothing about it. But what happened was they were, what? What did I say? They were riding with Mr. Big Baller, Mr. Shy Caller. When the police decided to take him down, they locked her up, and if she didn't snitch on him and tell everything she knew about him, she caught a beef and went down for conspiracy. Because it was thought that she had a conversation with him. And in their conversation, she agreed with him to do. So that means he said to her, come on, let's deal with these drugs. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Conspiracy, codependency, wickedness from the devil.
That's right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Come, let us deal wisely with them. Come on, sister, what does it say now? Lest, that means unless, because if we don't do this, then, go ahead, sister. They multiply. And it come to pass
that when there falleth out any war,
when there falleth out any war,
they join
also unto our enemies
and fight
against us. Now stop right there. See, this is the beauty of prophecy. God in the Bible, thousands of years ago, is speaking in language that yet remains crystal clear even after translations of evil intent by wicked translators and linguists who had a political agenda and wanted to trick up the Bible and add falsehood to it so that it has to be reinterpreted so mankind would not be snared by the falsehoods that have been added to it. This Bible is yet still speaking truth to us because it tells us that the fear of Pharaoh was that this people would continue to multiply and join on to an enemy of Pharaoh. And if there fell out a war, then this people would join on to that enemy and fight against Pharaoh because we would remember, or excuse me, they would remember that they had been a slave in that land, catching hell, working for Pharaoh. Y'all all right? Now the Holy Quran gives a different version of it. It says that Pharaoh was concerned that Moses would teach a teaching which would change the religion of the people. Ain't that what it said now? That they were concerned that Pharaoh and his advisors, his enchanters, his magicians were concerned that Moses would teach a teaching and then he would change the religion of the people. From what Pharaoh had taught them. Now y'all, I got to bear witness with you. You're comfortable in your chairs. Most of you. You can keep sitting down throughout this whole portion.
Yes, sir.
Most of you. But look at it now. Look at it. The Holy Quran gives us something else. Andre, get 7 and 127. Look now. Look. This gives us a picture of the mind of Pharaoh. Pharaoh gave the people a religion. Remember, the Holy Quran says he feared that it would change their religion. What kind of religion did Pharaoh want the slaves to have? He wanted them to have a religion where he, Pharaoh, and his people were deified as gods.
That's right.
And where the people of the children of Israel thought it was their natural place to serve the people that they believed were God.
Yes, sir.
You and I have been in a situation where we believe it's our natural place to serve this nasty peckerwood.
That's right.
We believe that he's God, and so they have to fight Muhammad because Muhammad comes and teaches you the truth and reality of God and keeps you away from being a slave to mental death and power and a poison animal eater and somebody that's caught up without the knowledge of self. Look at the Holy Quran now. Teacher, you all right? Okay, we're going to keep going until she's not all right. Now, look at the Holy Quran now. Look at the Holy Quran. Chapter 7, the elevated places.
Yes, sir.
Verse 127, same scenario now. Look, and the chiefs of Pharaoh's people said to Pharaoh, wilt thou leave Moses and his people? That means, would you leave Farrakhan and Curtis?
Yes, sir.
Would you leave Farrakhan and Dennis?
No, sir.
Would you leave Farrakhan and Ishmael and Rasul? Would you leave Farrakhan and Daoud and Tony? Would you leave Farrakhan with Ray and Ava? Would you leave Farrakhan with Tynetta and Akbar? Would you leave Farrakhan alone in the land to make mischief in the land and cause the people to forsake thee and your gods?
Yes, sir.
It's clear. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
You gonna leave them alone?
No, sir.
Bush sitting in the White House. Big staff meeting with his white folks and they niggas. How you doing, Rummy? Huh? O'Neill, you look shifty. I don't know about you. Huh? Sitting in the big staff meeting. Come here, Condi, you sit right here on my lap. Sitting in a big staff meeting with his people plotting against you and me. Can you see it? And they ask him, how long you gonna let Farrakhan run amok in the United States, causing Negroes to turn their back on white-centered religion and make mischief in the land? What kind of mischief is Farrakhan making? He's making the mischief of taking you away from your slave master. He's making the mischief of making you a free man and a free woman. He's taking you off of cigarettes. He's taking you off of dope. He's taking you off the bottle. He's taking you off the spike. He's getting our sister off the corner and getting our brother out the gutter. That's the kind of mischief that he's making in white America. And they said, we got to stop him. We need our niggas underfoot where we can keep them a slave and keep profiting from their slavery. Who you think is getting money for all them packs of Newports you've been buying? You ain't making no money from Newport cigarettes. Who you think is getting the money from all the MD 2020 you've been drinking? Who you think is getting the money from the Cisco wine cooler? Who you think is making money off of you buying the latest Jay-Z record? Who you think is getting money off of you laughing as Trina makes herself a spectacle? I'm the baddest bitch. What kind of foolishness have you bought into? They like to have you a slave, but Farrakhan is in the land making mischief, causing the people to forsake thee and thy gods.
That's right.
And Pharaoh said to them, we will slay their sons and spare their women, and surely we are dominant over them. Let's switch back to the Bible. The scene changes. All right? Let's go back, sister. Let's get the Bible now. Let's go back and get verse 11. What that say? Therefore,
they did set over them taskmasters.
they did, Pharaoh and his people set over the people of God, what?
Taskmasters.
What you say, teacher? Taskmaster. You know what a taskmaster is? It's an overseer. It's a straw boss. You know what a taskmaster is? It's a supervisor. You know what a taskmaster is? In the prison, he's called a trustee. When you're out there busting rock on that, don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. On a chain gang, they got a trustee, a supervisor, overseer. Come on, sister, talk about the taskmaster. What does it say about it?
Afflict them.
To afflict them. You know what affliction is? To cause pain to them. Come on. With their burdens.
And they built for Pharaoh.
And they built, the people of God built for Pharaoh. What did they build for them?
Treasure City.
Treasure City. Stop right there. They built Charleston for the white man. New York for the white man. Philadelphia, did they build it for them? Hartford, Connecticut, the insurance capital, they built it for the white man. Did they build Los Angeles for the white man? They built Houston, Texas, and Galveston, and Port Arthur, and Beaumont, and Orange, and New Orleans. Did they build Mobile, and Biloxi, and Gulfport? Did they build Pensacola? Did they build it all for them? St. Augustine? Didn't they build Tampa, and St. Petersburg, and Detroit, and Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Chicago, and Buffalo? Come on, man. They built treasure cities for this peck of wood. Now skip to the next verse and tell me what the start of the next verse say.
But the more they afflicted them.
But the more white folks afflicted them.
The more they multiplied.
Stop right there. The more they multiplied. I got a human witness to this. South Carolina is a wicked state that sought to kill the black man. Brother Curtis, come here, brother. You from South Carolina, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
You say the more they afflicted them. Was your people afflicted in South Carolina? So what did they do? The more they multiplied. I never met your daddy. I never met your dad. I want to ask you, how many children did your father have in South Carolina? How many? 48 children. That was before they had cable TV or Scrabble, Parcheesi, decks of cards. They didn't have nothing else to do. What you gonna do, Big Kurt? I don't know, let me make a baby. But the more they afflicted them in South Carolina, the more they what? Multiply. 48 is a big number. I don't care if you look at it as 4 times 12, 6 times 8, 3 times 16. It's a big old number. Is that right? That's multiplication. Thank you, Brother Curtis. Sisters, please stay away from him. Now, let me say this to you. No, you have to stay away. He's married. He's married. He's married. He's a married brother. Hold on. Let me say this now.